Pulling to the spot like Phil Collins sang it. Fresh new fade with the mustache banging. I know you wanna know where the fuck I'm from.
Check it out real quick. Episode 13. Got the homie right here, Lil Speedy Low.
Yep, no Speedy Low.
Right.
Stars the limit.
Oh, you were Stars the Limit too?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. This is Speedy Lowe's son, right? He's your real dad?
Yeah, it's my pops.
Okay.
Born.
All right. How old are you?
I'm 31, brother.
31?
31.
Oh shit. How would he have been?
He'd have been about 45, 46. Turned 46 this year, yeah.
So, I never got to the pleasure of meeting your pops, but I did see him in the rap game, and social media and CDs and stuff like that everywhere. I seen they do the RIP little pictures of him and stuff like that, the little Cholo hat and shit.
Oh yeah, the little logo.
Yeah, I see Tito B in there.
Yeah, because like my brother, this is his younger brother, but Bugsy, which is my pop's brother, he threw Beto on there, my pop's first, and it was Beto because this is their younger brother. He passed away.
Okay,
we'll get into that later, but he does a little logo, like a little draw logo.
Oh, Bugsy's his brother?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I just thought they were homies. All right.
Nah, yeah, that's there's just only two of them really, but then I will get into it. But my pops has younger brothers from another. My grandpa had more kids or something.
Okay, so so Speedy Logo was tight with Bugsy and that's his brother, and then so he has to be tight with Tito B then, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I got to meet that dude. He came down to my studio back in 2009, and he did a song with me and shit.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh shit, I don't think I heard that one.
We even have a picture. I don't know where it's at, somewhere on somebody else's phone, but we took a picture at the studio.
Okay.
Yeah, he's on my second album I did in like a little after 2009.
Yeah, it's dope.
Yeah. I wasn't
That's
too much
right there.
Yeah, I wasn't even into too much of social media back then, but So whatever happened to your pops? I don't even know why. You know what I mean? So we're gonna get into that.
Shit. What you mean? Like what? Like how he passed away and shit?
Yeah.
He got lymphoma cancer, and I think it started off like pneumonia.
Oh.
As far as I can remember, I just remember he got sick, and then they said it was pneumonia, and then after that, put the mic close. They're talking about
keep the mic closer.
It was cancer,
Yeah.
So honestly, just in a nutshell, that shit lasted like 9 months. It ate him up like in 9 months. You know what I mean?
Real quick, huh?
Yeah, real quick.
Was it like colon cancer or something?
Nah, it was lymphoma, so it was lung cancer.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so
it's just one of the just like a bad luck or something. Like it's nothing that was hereditary or anything.
Nah, it wasn't hereditary. It's not passed down to the family. No one else has got it. But I think more it had. He was doing the chemotherapy and all this shit back then. This is like in the early 2000s, but I feel like I'm not gonna get into the whole like woo-wop, the like conspiracy, whatever. But like I don't think the doctors were doing the necessary procedures because from my understanding, when you got chemotherapy, they like kill your cells and shit. Like they kill the cells that are supposed to fight for you and the cancer cells. So both of the cells are being damaged. So you get sick to anything, any little dust, anything that's around you, it's gonna hit you like a break. You know what I mean? So I feel like there was some stuff going on where there was like a lot of neglect, and then in itself, that hospital was torn down later on. Like that whole area of the hospital is not very good. So I feel like, cancer is cancer. It's gonna eat you up. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like it ate him up in 9 months. It took him really quick.
Damn, that had to be hard for you guys. So how old was you when you was going through that experience?
I was I want to say I was 10 years old.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
So he is the same age as me because I was around like that time and shit.
Yeah.
My son was 10. Like, I went to jail around that time.
Yeah, 2003, he passed away. That shit, how you say it, I was there in the room, you know what I mean? When, I hear him praying and shit, he grabbed me, I'm just a kid, holding me. I could feel his tears on my head, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He knew something was wrong. I'm a father now. You're a father, so you know that feeling when, You know, I mean, I can't put myself in his shoes to feel what he was feeling, but now I'm a father. If I was going through that, I know what I'd be feeling.
The worst fear ever. He was leaving you. He's not gonna be able to support you and shit anymore.
So I was there. I didn't understand it at the time. Like a year before that, my grandma had passed away, my mom's mom, and he's the one who broke the news. So when I went to her funeral, I didn't cry until I see my mama cry. You know what I mean? But then like when he passed away, you know, that's when it really hit me. I was like, reality kicked in. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
talk about it, man. How'd you talk a little bit about that experience? How'd you walk yourself through that?
Shit, bro. Fucking man. Honestly, you know, you just try to block it out. You know, you're just a kid. You know,
10 years old. I remember my son was 10 years old. You guys were well aware of everything. And shit.
Yeah, for sure. I was aware of everything. But anybody that has lost a family member can relate to how the house feels different the next day. You know, like something's missing.
Right.
You can feel the aura, the energies. Right. It's not there. It's not the same. So I felt that like the next day. You know, I was sitting there playing a little video game, Nintendo. Everyone's coming in the house. You know, doing the normal stuff, saying hi, condolences, everything. Yeah. I'm just blocking it out, playing the game, you know? So, I mean, that's how I dealt with it. But the day I found out, that shit hit like, ooh, like the whole world stopped. The whole world changed because it was Bugsy who actually called. He called the house. Back then it was house phones and shit, you know what I mean? Right. It wasn't too much cell phones. They had a little Nokia back then, like the first Nokia with the snake game, you know what I'm talking about? But Bugsy had called the house and I was fucking around like, what's up, man? Ooh, you know, hella energetic, you know, Unc's on the phone. It was your mom. Oh, she went to Safeway. Oh, what's up? It's about your dad. He's back in the hospital. I knew something was wrong. I could hear it in his voice. Yeah. He's like, just tell your mom to call me when she gets home. Like, everything good? There was a pause. And at that time, I was playing PlayStation 2. You know, I'm 10 years old. You know, I'm on the sticks, you know. So I go back. They didn't even hop back on the game. I knew something was wrong. Yeah. As soon as my mom walked through that door, I was like, hey, Mom, my uncle wants you to call him. My dad's in the hospital. So I'm ear hustling. I'm in the room, you know. And that's when she found out. She reacted like, what? What do you mean he's going to die? And then so I heard that. That's when the whole world just like, I felt this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, what? You know what I mean? So that was like the longest ride to the hospital. Like just looking out the window, it was strange, you know, but we got there, you know, a lot of family members there, friends of his. And, you know, the fucked up thing, a lot of people don't know, but he was on life support that day. So when we walked in the room, the doctors are like, hey, your dad, he's not going to be able to wake up, you know?
Yeah.
So you got to say your last words. So it's me and my brothers.
Did they say he could hear you?
Yeah. They say he could hear me. Yeah. And that's what I was getting to. They're like, hey, even though he's asleep, he can still hear you. He can still feel you. So, you know, I'm telling him everything as a kid would tell the dad, like, we don't want you to go. We love you. Stuff like that, you know? Yeah. Hugging him. And I just hear, you know, I'm not going to say who, but one of my uncles stepped out the room. You can hear punching the walls type shit. Like, motherfuckers couldn't take it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm looking around. I'm seeing everyone crying. I'm like, fuck's everyone? You know what I mean? I'm just saying bye to my dad, you know? And I look at my dad, look up to him, and he's got tears coming down his eyes, you know what I mean? So I understand now as a man that how that made other men feel in the room to see that kind of shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
that's called empathy. A lot of people don't have that.
Nah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
But, you know, Pops, I think a lot of people know him as Speedy, you know, as a northern rapper, you know what I mean? He set the foundation for the East Bay area in Dakota, Hayward. He did a lot of shit, you know what I mean? But I know him as my father, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, like, I remember him as that. I remember the music. We're going to touch on that. We could dive into all that, you know what I mean? But first and foremost, he was a dad before anything. He was a man before anything, you know what I mean? So I think that really fucked up a lot of people to see his kids do, to express themselves that way. And,
Right.
and I mean, it's normal shit, you know what I mean? But to deal with it, shit, I would say to this day, that shit still hurt, you know what I mean?
So,
I mean-
so how old was he when he passed?
All right. Some people ain't even gonna believe this. He was 24, bro.
He was 24?
He was 24. He was 24. He conquered a lot of shit at a young age, you know what I mean?
What year did he pass?
He passed away in 2003. Yep.
Oh, 2003. Okay, yeah.
It was crazy because it was June 13th, Friday the 13th of 2003.
Damn.
Yep.
Yeah, he didn't get to see a lot of stuff. So let me ask you this. Before he passed away, did he ever do any time away from you guys?
What you mean, like
Jail
locked up?
time? You know what I'm saying?
Nah, not jail or prison, not that I know of.
So he was always involved in.
He was always involved.
He was always there.
He was always involved. I mean,
Was you ever in any sports?
Nah, bro. To be honest, even after that, I always wanted to play.
What some things stand out that that your dad like installed in you, like some kind of morals or something like that?
First and foremost would be like
For the people that don't know who your dad is, well, the people actually that do know who he is, they this is a good time to let them know what type of guy he was besides the rapper.
Yeah. I would say if anything, man, like he was a man before anything. Like just a man about being of honor.
Well, what stands out? Like what do you remember?
What he instilled in me was when I was fucking up as a kid, it was always like, hey, you gotta learn from your mistakes, man. Stop following the crowd. Be your own person.
Right.
Be honest and shit like that. Like he instilled a lot of structure in me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
A lot of that stuck with me, but after he passed, like, obviously, people go down.
So what you're saying? He didn't want you to be on the streets.
Nah, he didn't. And my whole my goal and plan after he passed away was to never get involved or to be tied to it. You know what I mean? My whole goal was never to it. But the way I grew up and where I grew up at, it was kind of hard to
easier said than done, huh?
It was kind of hard to avoid it. You know what I mean? Like it came to you. You know what I mean? But what he instilled in me is what I share with my kids to this day is being, just a family oriented man and just being, how you say it? Well, first of all, if anybody knows my pops, that they will know that he had a very good sense of humor. He'd brighten up a room, you know what I mean? So me and my family were majority like that. So it's more, I like your slogan, not to go off a topic, but family, keep it family.
That's not off topic. This is actually perfect.
It resonates with me a lot, you know what I mean?
Right
because that's what my family and anybody who knows our family, that's what we stand for a lot,
Right.
We really keep it family. And if you come, if anybody knew my dad and you weren't blood, like Mousy, Tito, everyone who back in the days, 14 Caliber, all the homies who branched off and did their stuff, everyone could say, even on the Rest in Peace songs, they expressed themselves on the music saying that Pops took them in like family, like a brother, you know what I mean? So, I mean, that's kind of, like some real stuff that he's instilled into us, like, you know what I mean? Bugsy's the same way, so, you know what I mean?
Right. So how did you, is your Pops growing up, he's from Dakota, right?
Yeah.
How'd you end up being from Hayward?
All right, so that's a good question. In the 1990s, I lived in Dakota when I was born. I was born in 92. So my pops moved shortly after to Hayward in 1993.
And Hayward and Dakota's real close, right?
Really close, really close. So as soon as you leave, so Mission Boulevard goes all the way down to like freaking all the way over here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
San Jose, Fremont, all that, right? So Mission Boulevard stretches from Dakota to Hayward, all the way to East 14th, San Leandro to Oakland.
Right.
But so as soon as you leave Dakota, you end up in South Hayward.
Okay.
And then going Morris up north. But we moved to Hayward in 1993. And we were in Hayward ever since. And after he passed, my mom was living in Hayward too. And I was always back and forth.
Oh, your pops moved to Hayward?
Yeah, he moved to Hayward with my grandma and Bugsy. And they were young, you know what I mean? When he had me, he was like 14 years old when my pops had me. Bugsy was young. So, my household was, my grandma, Bugsy, my pops, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then my little brothers came and we moved to a neighborhood where it's in North Hayward, it's off A Street. And back in the days, as we all know, like a lot of neighborhoods don't get along with each other. You know? So he had some problems in North Hayward, but to the extent where he got down with the homies and they made an alliance, or they made like a, how you say it, like a connection for the first time. And that's where he first started with his first song. He released on a tape in 1995, Dark Familia. It's called Players for Life.
Oh, he was on that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
1995, Dark Familia. Because they had a cat from A Street, or he's from North Hayward, that was living on the same street.
Well, I know A Street's been around for years.
Yeah. Dakota and A Street. So,
Yeah.
you know, obviously when Pops showed up, they wasn't showing them no love. But he, you know, got down with the homies, and the homies were like, hey, you know what? And then after that, they learned, you know, after that, like, this was unseen, unheard of, where neighborhoods, when Pop started getting to the music, he started bringing neighborhoods together. Like, even the homie Mousy from San Francisco. Like, if you listen to the Rest in Peace song about my Pops, the tribute,
I haven't heard of it.
He mentions it, and he's like, hey, you know, it was about to get ugly. Bugsy and Speedy was finna rush me, but we worked it out. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, you'll hear these guys, they have problems with each other, but then they worked it out and they became like brothers, you know what I mean? Like really solid homies. Like Mousy to this day, he's locked up right now, but that's Unc right there. You know what I mean? He ain't blood, but man, that motherfucker could walk in our house and my grandma will serve him a plate, you know what I mean? Like that's how it is, you know?
Yeah.
Keep it family.
So who's collecting his royalties right now for his music that he has?
Honestly, I don't, you know, it ain't me, but probably my Uncle Bugsy. You know, he's probably getting, he's probably still receiving here and there, you know what I mean?
All right.
But as far as like,
I mean, you know, you can collect that, right?
yeah.
I mean, your dad would want you to have it, right?
I don't know. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't really trip off of it.
I mean, it's important. I mean, how many songs do you think your dad had?
He had quite a few. Quite a few.
Like, do you think he had like more than 20 songs?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I mean, that's a cool little paycheck once a month.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And royalties it's real. It's consistent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Honestly, I've never got into it. I never even asked Unc, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not, you know, I'm just saying, I'm sure he wouldn't mind if you ask him and stuff, because it's real shit. It's like, hey, bro, I want to get into that, you know? I mean, you could pull all the royalties and put them in your name, and you know, you could find digital distribution. Like, we do it. We do digital distribution. You could come to us and, you know, we could drop it for you and you get your percentage and shit. You know what I
mean? I with the royalty stuff, we never really looked into it. You know what I mean? Like, I got nothing to.
I mean, I ain't trying to step on no toes, but I don't really give a fuck, because I have a dad. I mean, I'm a dad, right?
Yeah.
And if something would happen to me, I have a son.
Yeah.
I have 3 sons. And if that, I don't give a fuck. Nobody says that whatever I own goes to my kids.
Well, I'm gonna keep it real. Yeah. After Pops passed away, we didn't even see no money. A lot of people, they have that misconception where they think that, you know, we ate off some. Yeah. Now my brothers, my 3 little brothers, they went a whole different route with my stepmom. They moved to Tracy, but she got all strung out and they ended up growing up in foster home and shit. Yeah. So it didn't, like me too, like the way I brought up, it wasn't like, you know, what he left me was right here and right here, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's like, you know, the family kind of, you know, like took a hit after that. You know
it's
what I mean?
Not like a gang of money, but it could be, you know, you could start your, you know, like your page, and you could promote your dad's legacy and like, this old homeboy rap, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know, like you're talking about, he was on that Dark Room album back in the day and stuff like that. Things like that. People are collectors and stuff like that. Yeah. And you know, you can end up just getting like a couple $100 a month every month. Yeah. You know what I mean? For the rest of your life for that, because for the streams. Every time somebody listens to that, you get paid for that.
Yeah,
you know?
I feel it.
They don't even have to buy it. It's not necessarily just buying the song or whatever. Yeah. They're just playing it. And every time somebody plays it, you have it monetized.
Yep.
And no matter what.
I know how the game goes, because I drop a few singles. I was supposed to drop an album, so
you rapping too?
Yeah. I got a couple of videos out, but it's been on pause lately. Like, I just been dealing with life and shit. Just you know, I'm part of the IBW electrician, so I'm doing school. Yesterday I had a final last night, so you gotta hit the books, and you know, we working all the time, so it's kind of like, you know what I mean, I haven't really been putting music. I mean, I want to do the music. I was doing music, but as of now, like, I'm just taking care of my household right now. You know.
So if there's any Speedy Loke fans, that's good news that, you know, his sons Speedy Loke lives through his son. You know what I mean? And you're doing good.
Little Speedy Loke.
And you're doing good. You're doing, what is it? IBW?
Yep. I'm an electrician with Alameda County. So, I mean.
That's some good shit right
there. Like I said, like, I'm not a rapper, but I could bust some. I could freestyle. I've been around the music. I grew up around it.
My household. Think you sound like your dad?
Nah, I don't think I sound like him. I wouldn't put it that way, but I have the love for music from him. You know what I mean? Because he was a big fan of music, all kind of music. And we could dive more into that.
So before, I'm going to ask you to freestyle if you don't mind and shit. Before you do that, is there anything else you want to cover and shit? Like, as far as the history goes, you want to make sure, you know what I mean?
For sure. So, I mean, a lot of people know Speedy Loke as a Norteño, rapper. Pops, he, I think he was breaking boundaries, bro. He was, before he passed away, like this is years later, I want to say this documentary came out in 2000, I might be wrong, 2012, 13. I was watching an Ice-T documentary.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, on Netflix. And it's called The Art of Rap. I don't know if you ever seen it.
I don't know, probably.
But Ice-T goes to New York and he interviews Grandmaster Flash, hip hop, where rap first started, you know what I mean? Right. All these New York cats, right? Yeah. And he's in Harlem, like he's with a video camera, he's like interviewing these cats. Yeah. And he goes to Eminem, he goes, to the West Coast, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, he's doing all the rap documentary, right? But at the end of the documentary, he throws a shout out in the credits. And it's a big shout out to RP, to a lot of MCs, a lot of rappers, right? And they're rappers from everywhere, from all around the country, from New York, down south, California, like such as RBL Posse, you know what I'm talking about? Like Black C, who passed away, Coog Nut, those are like underground legends to us in the Bay Area, Mac Dre. Then I'm looking at the credits and it says Speedy Loke in there.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Ice-T did that?
Ice-T did that.
That's tight, man. That's interesting.
So, so I kind of was like, I was thrown off. I said, man, there ain't no other Speedy Loke that we know of. You know what I mean? Like, you can't find another Speedy Loke. Yeah. And when my pops dropped that first album, it was like the foundation, to lay the foundation for over here, for the soil and the waters over here. Then he was branching out all around Northern California. But that second album that he was coming out with, you could hear that he was making more like club songs, you know what I mean? More for like club people. And then there's a song on there where he was paying homage to hip hop. He was talking about how he grew up listening to the early days of hip hop and how gangster rap came in, Eazy-E, Ice-T, NWA. Then he transfers to like how he started, like now he's rapping about gangbanging and what's going on over here. So I think that song caught the attention of Ice-T and him paying homage, you know what I mean? But what I want to say is he had a bigger picture. He had a what Latino, what everyone aspires to do right now is to break that boundary. He was on the way to do that. And the reason, like I've seen people with RP Speedy Loke on the shirt in Oakland in a Yo Gotti video. That Yo Gotti video, the Act Right with Jeezy in them. Like, what the hell? This dude is fucking wearing a RP Speedy Loke shirt, a black dude. Like, what? You know what I mean? So, I mean, these are little things that I've noticed and caught and was like, there's a documentary with Speedy Loke, Bugsy, Tito, all of them when they first started called Cali Thuggin'. Bugsy still hasn't released it, right? Mac Dre's on there giving shout out to my pops. We Cali Thuggin', because that was my pops album. We on the show representing, Right. Like he was on the stage. There's flyers. I got a flyer at the house, but I couldn't find it. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna show the Instagram world. It says performance Speedy Loke and Mac Dre's headlining. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
so
that's
like,
tight.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like he was. You know what I mean? For a lot of people that don't know, that's where Speedy Loke came up out of. You know what I mean? And when he got his first start, it was with Dark Room, and then Ghetto Line Productions, that Northern Ghetto Boys compilation. With all the homies on there in the front, Northern Ghetto Boys. Mousie's on there. They got that song Get Off the Block, They got Gold Toes on there. So I feel like, to be honest, like, you know, like he was trying to break that boundary, which he was on that route. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he had that mind state and stuff.
He really had love for the hip hop and stuff.
He had love for the music, the culture, and anybody who ever met him or been around him can say that, you know, that he brought that to the environment. He brought that to the scenery. You know what I mean? And and he was over here in San Ho fucking around. He had a lot of love for the San Ho homies. He was Dakota to San Ho. You know what I mean? He was over here all the time mentioning San Jose.
Right on.
They're doing the Car Clubs Ride on that song. The whole song is talking about being in San Jose.
Yeah.
Talking about Story and King, how they doing Cinco de Mayo back in the days.
Oh yeah.
Because I came over here like 2 years ago for Cinco de Mayo, thinking it was like back in the days, like how we used to come over and people were deep.
Right.
Bro, we the only ones that get jammed up by task force over here, bro. And we the only ones was walking, looked like a ghost town. Everyone was driving, but we the only ones that are walking. We're like, what the fuck? You know, we drinking and shit, but yeah, we got jammed up. Like, oh yeah, shit's not the same no more. You know what I mean?
What year was that?
Fuck, that was
You said when you were walking, there was nobody out there.
San Jose. No, there's people driving, but nobody was really walking.
Was that on the Cinco de Mayo?
Yeah, it was on Cinco de Mayo.
What year was that?
Shit, man, that was a couple years back. I want to say like,
Oh, just recently?
not recently. I didn't come out here recently, like 3 years ago probably.
Oh, well, yeah. To me, that's recently and shit. Because I was out there back in like 91 and shit. Fucking,
Yeah.
that cruising used to go all the way to El Camino, all the way almost
it was,
fucking.
it was
just way
different back
there and
out here
shit,
back
yeah.
in the days. But shit, I mean, you know, Pops, he laid down the foundation for Mousy to Mousy came out with his album after 14 Caliber, Tito B, you know what I mean? Tito B, if a lot of people don't know that Tito B was one of the first Thizz Latin artists under Gold Toes. The Thizz Latin hand, I was there, I took the picture of Bugsy's hands, and that logo is tatted on everyone, that Thizz Latin.
Yeah.
And that shit went all the way down.
Oh, is that right? That shit,
Yeah.
well, that's news to me. That's interesting.
There's a lot of shit, man. I done been behind the scenes, but to be honest, bro, I'm not a rapper. Like I'm part of like my own life. You know what I mean? I've been running around Oakland, Hayward, Dakota, functioning with the homies, but at the same time being a father, growing, and you know, I wasn't. How you say, like, make a long story short, like I didn't graduate when I had my kids and shit. Like I was working dead end jobs, doing my little thing.
Yeah.
And then at 25, I'm like, man, I gotta do something. So now I'm in a little career. I'm just, you know what I mean? That's plan A, you know what I mean? Plan B, I like to fuck with the music. I like to how you said, it's a hobby for me, you know what I mean? And you know, I'm tapped in with Rico Too Smooth. I'm tapped in with the homies on the low, you know what I mean? Like go function with the homies from SAC everywhere, you know what I mean? So
that's right.
But yeah, bro. You know what I mean?
But that was some good history about the Thizz Latin hand and shit. You said Bugsy took that picture?
Nah, I took the picture.
Oh, it was Bugsy's hand.
Bugsy's hand.
Yeah, okay.
He called me in the room. Pops already had passed away. He called me in the room. He's like, hey, I need you to take a picture. And this back then with the, you know, the little digital cameras.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? He's like, take a picture. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. He's like this. I'm like, oh, I know what this is. You know what I mean? Because they used to, Mac Dre, when he passed away, everyone, that was a big movement back then. You know what I mean? So when they did that, to this day, you know, everyone, that logo has never changed. The T&L is Bugsy's hands. Nobody knows that.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
That's good shit. That's good shit.
Shit, Unc done did hella shit after Pops passed away. He was doing covers for Thizz, Entertainment, doing shit for them.
Yeah.
You know,
Who
Jay
you talking about,
Diggs.
Bugsy?
Yeah, Jake Diggs.
Yeah, I follow
he know
Bugsy,
who the
man.
family is
He
and
looks
shit.
like he's doing the, you know, like the family thing too, solid and shit. You know?
Yeah, man. That's what it's about at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Because a lot of us got homies that, you know, are in jail, passed away, you know what I mean? I got, man, there's so many homies that, like over 10, 15 homies I can name from my neighborhood, from my city that's passed away. Not because they got killed, just living a fast life, you know what I mean? And it's like, you know, I'm 31 now, and it's like, but I step outside, it's still going down. Like someone got smacked 2 days ago where I live out off of Tennyson in South Hayward.
Yeah, you want to give somebody, you know, shout out RIP and shit, you know, video. You know what I mean?
For sure. Rest in peace, my brother Bethel right here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'll give a little shout out a little later, you know what I mean? But the city of Hayward, man, it's got a, you know, it's like everywhere, but it's like it's grimy over there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a lot of tension, a lot of neighborhoods don't get along.
Nobody's getting along right there?
Nah, I mean, I'm from the north side, but you know, for us, it's we don't only have tension with the rest of the homies, you know what I mean? But there's a lot of homies that, you know, clash and shit, but at the end of the day, we stay out of people's business. It is what it is. Dakota, you know, they've been holding it down for years, you know what I mean? like that. I know a couple homies from Dakota to this day because they got my dad's from DG, Dakota Gangsters. So my grandmother, the one that passed away, the one I mentioned, my whole family was rooted in Dakota. She was DHS, Dakota Head Stompers. So that's from the 70s. So they got after my pops, their generation's LDG, Little Dakota Gangsters. So them little homies off the hook.
What about VGD?
Oh yeah, that's Barrio Grande, Dakota. So if you're from DG, you were most likely VGD.
I was locked up with some dude named Coco Man back in '93 from there.
Yeah,
I haven't seen him since then.
There's a lot of good homies from right there. Yeah. My family, their roots are from there.
He had East Bay on his stomach.
Yeah,
and he was he was probably like 15, 16.
Yeah, bro. Fucking Hayward, Dakota, Oakland. Like I got hella homies. I lived in Oakland too for quite a while. I was staying in 9-8. There's no homies over there. That was like Border Brother neighborhood.
Where's that at?
9-8.
Yeah, is that in Hayward too, or?
Nah, that's in Oakland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's in East Oakland, deep East Oakland.
Oh, you guys are all close right there too, huh?
That's like you go down the street and then you end up after Hayward, it's San Leandro. But San Leandro really ain't got like no pockets like that. Yeah. And you dip through San Leandro, they got the mall. And once you cross San Leandro, you end up in Oakland. And you end up in a whole different world. So I lived over there for quite a few years. And, you know, I mean, there's shit to rap about. Like, I got songs and there's shit that, you know, like I survived this long, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, when it comes to the that side of the East Bay, it's really just Dakota, Hayward, Oakland. And then, you know what I mean? Like, I never even came to Fremont, but we don't even cross Fremont, you know what I mean? Like, because we already know you're getting pulled over here. I mean, over there, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Was your mom and your dad together when he passed away?
Nah. They separated. They separated when I was a baby.
Okay.
Yeah.
After your dad passed away, did you ever have to do any, did you ever get involved with the law?
I mean, shit, I never got involved. I never got caught up for nothing.
Okay. All right. So you ain't did no time and shit, and so you made it through that, and now you how's your mom feel about your life right now? She's
really proud that I made it because she was really worried my whole life. Yeah. After my pops passed, that's when everything started.
Yeah, she took on that whole burden now that it's not just. I mean, before it was her concern and his concern, but now she has to really be the mom and the dad.
But like when he passed away, she tried to get me in therapy because I wasn't talking. Like I had nothing to talk about. You know what I mean?
Oh, you still quiet for a while?
She tried to take me to the police station to talk with fucking a therapist or something. I wasn't talking about shit. I was just drawing. She was like, "What's wrong with this kid?" You know what I mean? And I just didn't have nothing to talk about. And then
took you to the police station?
I don't know why there was a therapy program there or some shit.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
I just remember as a kid, like I was 10, 11 years old, like fuck I want to talk to this white lady for you.
Yeah,
know
she was concerned about you and you went,
And the lady's like, the only thing she got out of me was like, you like to draw? Like, yeah. So I'm drawing pictures of cartoons and shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like shortly after that, because I just remember in my head, I was always like, I'm not trying to get into this street shit. And it was right there outside. Like I lived outside of this shit, you know what I mean? And my first day, so my pops passed away, I was in elementary. After that, I'm going to middle school. So first day of middle school, and then a couple more events happened to where I got jumped. I got this little scar right here. I got jumped by some high schoolers. They were seniors and shit, and I was in 7th grade, you know what I mean? I'm 11 years old, 12 years old. Fucking these fools, I go, like, it was after school, it was like way after school, and I see these fools from hella far away. They dropping their blue belts and shit, you know what I mean? They see me, and mind you, my whole stilo at that time was, I'm not banging, you know what I mean? I'm a kid, you know what I mean? I'm trying to make my dad proud.
Yeah.
So then, I'm walking with some females, and I'm trying to, because they start banging on me, so I'm like, hold on, like, I don't bang, but y'all ain't finna just disrespect me like that. So I chunk them with both of them. Boom, boom, boom. So then one of them pulls out a 40 ounce, a Budweiser. And I seen that shit coming straight to my face. So I covered my face like this. Boom, that's how I got that scar right there. So then I find out later on when I get to school, I already had got the stitches on my face, everything, you know what I mean? They got on me that day. But I find out when I get to school, Hayward PD pulls me out of class and they start showing me a yearbook of high schoolers. That's how I found out they were high schoolers.
Yeah.
So they show me like all the little pictures and all that shit. You know what I mean? When they came across them, like my demeanor changed. I kind of knew like, oh, because I kind of forgot what they looked like. It happened so fast. And the cop was like, that's them, huh? I was like, nah. Like no one told me not to snitch. No one told me not to do none of that. I just knew
common
that
sense.
I wasn't gonna say nothing. He was like, bro, I could tell that's them. I could tell by the way your face is. I'm like, nah, that's not them. He's like, tell me it's them and we'll go lock them up. They're seniors. We charge them as dog. Nah, that's not them. But he did me a favor, letting me know what they look like. You know what I mean? And I'm like, these motherfuckers like 17 years old, bro. You know what I mean? I'm a little ass kid.
Yeah.
So then all the homies in the neighborhood that like, because I was growing up in, they all had hella love and, you know what I mean? Some events transpired I'm not going to touch on. But when I saw that, like the homies had me, I instantly gravitated like, fuck it, I'm out here. And then it was just always like that. Like, I mean, so my mom, she definitely was worried for a lot of years, you know what I mean? Because I just went down the fast lane. And then like we're pretty far into it. I'm not going to talk about it on camera, but now I'm 31 years old. You know, I put myself back in school. I got kids, you know what I mean? So I'm setting them up right now. You know
How old are your kids?
I got a 13-year-old, a 10-year-old, and I got a 6-month-old.
And how old are you?
31.
You know, little Speedy, man, you got a legacy of your own. You know, right now you're in charge of your own destiny. You're in the right track. I think that you should keep reminding yourself of how that felt when you were on your dad's deathbed, of how your kids are gonna feel. You know what I'm saying? And always, I mean, yeah, you went through that shit. We are who we are, but we ain't got to focus on that all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, straight
Just
up.
keep focusing on that money and those kids and always make it home to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. On the last single that I dropped, it's called When Thugs Cry. Y'all can look it up on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, whatever.
Oh, yeah. Who did the beat?
I'm on the last verse. My homie brought the beat. I don't know who brought it.
Okay.
The beat's hard.
Is it like that when Thizz Cry, like when Tupac did it?
He kind of it's not like the beat, but he got the concept of it.
Yeah, like that
but
Prince thing.
We put like the homie aspect into it because we're talking about homies that passed away and we're talking about our struggle, our pain.
Yeah.
And at the last bars, I was thinking about it. I was like, what the fuck really makes me cry? Yeah, I can say my dad, I can say my brother, I can say all kinds of things, right?
Yeah.
What really will fuck me up, what really will hurt me is how we just said, what you just said right now. Like my dad on his bed, when I looked up at him, and I'm a father now, and that heart, ooh, that's gotta suck, bro. Cause I mean, we're all men, bro. I'm pretty sure we can accept death, we can accept going, but the fact that you know you gotta leave a little one behind in this fucked up world, the cold world, you know what I mean? That's gotta hurt the most. You know what I mean?
You know, that's a good thing you pointed out, because not only that I worry about myself, or just even you getting hurt will hurt your kids. You know what I'm saying? To see you hurt. But every day I think about like, damn, we're all gonna have to leave one day. And I think about my little ones and I block myself out of that, because one day they're gonna have to go through that shit.
Yeah, what can you leave them with? You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I mean, that has to be the most important thing in your life right now, to always, like, I mean, a goal is to never fucking put them through that. You know what I'm saying? You know, shit happens and shit, but we don't have to volunteer ourselves to, you know, put ourselves through that bullshit. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You know,
I think that's one of the main reasons why I haven't did no time, because when I did have kids at a young age, it kind of, I mean, I'm not perfect. I was still fucking up. You know what I mean? But I just never got, you know, caught up for anything. But at the same time, I still like, okay, I got to stop doing this shit, because now they're depending on me. And if I fucking go, and if I'm doing some time, now not nobody in my neighborhood, even though these are the homies, y'all not going to feed them. Y'all not going to bring them up how I'm supposed to, you know what I mean? So
nobody's going to love them like you would love them.
Yeah, it ain't their fault. They came into this world. So since then, I've been just taking care of business, handling my I just had a 6-month-old not that long ago. So it's just all like I said, that the shirt and the keep it family really resonates with me a lot.
Right.
Like, I was like,
yeah, once you have kids, man, and you
no
know,
one got one like that right now. No one's talking about shit like that.
Yeah,
You know
well,
what I mean?
everybody's scared. They think it's some soft shit, but that's the most gangster shit you could do.
Yeah, especially when you come from that life and you know what comes with it. You know what I mean?
But yeah, but once you have kids, Speedy, man, like that's your mission now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's your new mission. You chose this life. You chose parenthood.
Exactly.
It's a whole different thing now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're already marked as a homie, so you have to deal with all that in the streets no matter what. If you come across some people that don't like you, that is what it is.
Yeah.
But for the most part, you don't see that when you're doing I'm saying the right thing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And that has to be your ultimate goal, man, in life right now is just is to be just that parent, man. And nothing else should be getting in the way, you know?
Yeah, bro. Like we just, there's a lot of people that left kids behind and a lot of homies, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of homies of mine. And like even like Tito, he passed away, unfortunately, you know what I mean? But
I thought about him when he passed away too, because I seen because he
left his kids behind.
He was living like
a house.
He was living like a real homie, you know what I'm saying? Like doing the family thing and shit.
Yeah,
you know
he just bought a house down the street from Bugsy, like fucking like 9-10 houses down from me.
I felt for him, I'm saying, when it happened.
Yeah, bro.
Fuck, man.
Fucking, it's fucked up, man. Like it doesn't matter what it is, like, you know what I mean? You can be taken out either way in a car accident or something. At the end of the day, like most kids that grow up without a father or, a structure or household, we know our friends or us, how we grew up. Like you look at your kids, I look at my son, I don't never want them fucking out nighttime doing the shit, running around, you know what I mean?
Let me tell you this. You look at me, the way I'm dressed right here. Just because I say I'm a family man and my kids come first, do you think any of my enemies give a fuck?
Nah.
So that a lot of that goes without being said.
Nah.
When those fools say, "Oh, what you signed was," shut the fuck up, man.
It's rare.
I'm doing me, you do you. You know what I'm saying?
It's rare because I ran into a fool that we had funk with all the time. I went to elementary school with this fool. Then he became a Southsider middle school.
Mm-hmm.
I ran into him in the store, and he had a son. I had my kid, and he was like, "What's up? What's up? We're gonna have to buy some meat." He's like, "You're still active," and at the time I was like, "You know what I mean? Still out here. What about you? I'll see you around, And he's like, "Nah." He's like, "I got a kid now." Like, you know what I mean? I was like, "You know what? I respect it. That's smart." You know what I mean? All right,
what does it mean you still act? I mean, you're still a homie, right? You're still in good standing.
Well, like in the streets.
Yeah. People get that shit misconstrued.
Yeah, because fucking for us, I don't know. Like what I took from that is you still outside.
Yeah.
Because when I was growing up, is you outside on the block.
Everyone I'd have probably smacked that fool who told me that, but
I mean,
he said it in a good
he didn't say he wasn't checking me or nothing like that. You know what I mean? And it was like, and when I asked him, I was like, "What about you? Like, I don't see you around." Nah, like he straight up told me, he's like, I stopped. You know what I mean?
Man, I ain't gonna lie, homie. I see some dudes that are my age out here that's been around, for years and shit. And when I see, they're like grown men, homie. They're like they own businesses and shit. And I remember seeing them who they was in juvenile hall. And
I mean, some people mature. Some people know that, like, if you stay in this shit,
if a dude carries himself with respect, and that's exactly what I'm gonna give him.
Exactly.
You know what I mean, if he's trying to walk around and push his weight around or do anything, like, it's gonna be different. But it's if I see that, I came across people before, and you have that certain look on you if you're looking for trouble.
Yeah.
And if you don't got that look, man, ain't nobody tripping on that shit.
I mean, at the end of the day, we're some grown ass man. You know what I mean? Like when I saw him with his kid, he's not jamming me up. I'm with my kid, not jamming me up. Like it didn't come off that way. You know what I mean? Like there's things that happen behind the scenes that people ain't talking. This ain't no YouTube shit. You know what I mean? This ain't no rap shit. This is some real shit in the streets. Like people really dying over this shit everywhere. Over here in San Ho, like I hear a lot about it. I'm not too familiar with San Ho, but when I hear about San Ho, it's like, damn, the culture over here is like, you know what I mean?
YouTube, social media has its own records, but the streets hold the real.
Yeah, it's a
like
whole
record,
different communication line, though, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like, we're some grown ass man and freaking.
I just can't see two grown ass men over the age of 30 seeing each other at a store, doing their family thing. You probably going to go buy some cereal, him buying some pork chops or whatever, and just start looking at each other and don't know how to figure their way back out of that shit. Like
what you mean, like figure it out?
Like if there's some enemies, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And like, come on, homie. Like to me, that looks hella immature. You know what I mean? It's like
like starting some shit.
Yeah, like hey, where you like, I can't see you got. I can't see how a grown ass man can't see past that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I mean, if he's putting his hands on you, rubbing. But if he's walking by, you're walking by. It's a common law respect.
Exactly.
You know what I
Like
mean?
I there was an incident, not to go too off track, but it's kind of the same. Like I was in Oakland in the Border Brother neighborhood in 9-8 in the Alphabets, and this fool knows who he is. But I was picking up my daughter because
Yeah.
his baby mama, the sisters with my baby mama. So I was picking up my daughter over there. I ain't gonna get into the whole details. But,
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't supposed to be over there, but
Bless you, Johnny.
baby mama over there on some bullshit took me over there, and this fool, they were outside, bro. Like, and at this time in Oakland, the Northerners and the Border Brothers, this was like a fucking war, like no other war.
Oh, they're funking?
Oh, bro, they were.
Oh,
Well, not
shit.
now, but I'm saying back in like 2013, 2014.
Yeah.
Bro, they wasn't just coming to just light up one block. You know what I mean? They was lining up each other. Like the homies would go over there. They'll light
think
up
I
three.
heard about that.
They'll light up 3 different blocks, all in within 1 minute. Like 3 different spots. So the cops don't even know what to do. And the Border Brothers would go to the homies neighborhood, and I'm living up there at the time. So when I saw the homie, bro, everyone knows who my pops is. They already know. Like, you know what I mean? When I get there, it's nighttime, the tension. They could have let me have it, bro. My son was in the back, you know what I mean? But at that time, like, you know, I had my shit on me, you know what I mean? You know, it could have went down. And I see my son in the back. I get my phone right, and I pass it to my son. I'm looking at them fools, and I see like some Border Brother fool pull up on a moped, hand them thing, you know what I mean? And I'm looking, and this dude won't take his eyes off me. He's smoking a blunt, you know what I mean? Like this in the war zone, you know what I mean? And the other dude that lives there, they got bullet holes all in the house and the gate. They got NK, SK, cop killer. Like, bro, this is like a war zone where I'm like, God damn, this dumbass, bro. You know what I mean? I told her ass, like, you know what I mean? And this a long time ago, but I remember the dude smoking the blunt. He was just looking the whole time like, we got him. And my heart was pumping. I was like, bro, it's about to go down. You know what I mean? And the other fool just was like, that lives there, was like, nah, you know what I mean? So when we left, you know, they surrounded the car, they let us leave. You know, I was kind of like, you know, something's about to go down, you know what I mean? But he came to Hayward one time, and it was the same thing. It was a gang of Northerners, and they're like, oh, it's a border. Whoa. So on some respect, like, nah, let him do his thing. He's at the barbecue. You know what I mean? So it's kind of weird how shit happens.
Now, over here, we don't trip on the Border Brothers and shit.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it's different. But as far as like whatever it is, Southside Border Brothers or whatever, like
At the end of the day, dude, if those dudes got a head on their shoulders, they got kids too. They got the same mission as you.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they want to get home to the family too.
Because nothing happened that day when he came to Hayward. Nothing happened to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is, circumstances might be different in another scenario. You know what I mean? Because this shit's always popping off.
Yeah.
But it's a fucked up life, man. I mean.
But so, what's your plans, man? We got to wrap this up. Are you going to continue with this electrician stuff?
Yeah, bro. I'm 4 years in. It's a 5-year program. You know what I'm saying? So I
plan on buying a home?
Yeah, hell yeah. It's
you gonna move your kids out the area and shit?
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, man. I need it. You know what I mean?
Let's talk about like what's your goal with your family, like, do you know, because what you went through, obviously you went through some kind of grimy things and grimy areas and stuff.
Like I said, man,
you feel like putting your kids through that?
We didn't get I didn't get no fat checks growing up. My brothers went through it. They ended up in foster homes. You know what I mean? Me, I went down a different route. It took a long time for me to mature. You know what I mean?
But are you gonna make sure your kids don't get put in that situation?
Oh, for sure. They're not. You know what I mean?
That's right.
They're good kids, straight A students, and that's what like when you asked me earlier, what did your father leave with you? That's what he
because
left
this
with me.
podcast, I like to, we start off with some, with our troubles, the worst case scenarios. You went through the worst. You lost your pops, and you end up,
I didn't
hanging
even
out in the streets.
Yeah,
but at the end of it, I like to find out. I like to, for the audience that are watching, I like to have like a positive outcome.
Exactly.
And I want to see little Speedy Lope, the young homie, moving further, forward and shit with his family and shit.
Yeah,
you
for
know
sure.
what I mean?
For sure. Like anybody who knows me knows that, I'm doing really good right now with the whole school and the program. I recently got married to my wife about 2 years ago.
That's right. Congratulations.
So I had to pump the brakes on, and I say a lot of it has to do with having someone in your corner. Like,
how much did you have to pay for that schooling? Not to cut you short on that.
Nah, I ain't gonna pay nothing.
Oh, your job's putting you through that?
It's an apprenticeship.
Oh, that's right.
It's an
okay.
apprenticeship.
That's
it's
good
Alameda
shit.
County apprenticeship. A lot of I didn't know about it, but a lot of homies or a lot of people that are thinking that when they're in school, they got to go to college and they got to get a career or go to biotech to do some shit like that. But nah, there's apprenticeship programs, you know what I mean? For the
so when you
electrical.
finish, or you're not finished with the school, right?
Nah, it's
So when you finish with
a
the
5-year program.
Okay, and you've been in 2 years?
Nah, I'm 3 years and a half.
Okay, so when you finish with that, you're gonna get like more pay, right?
Yeah, it's raises. Like I just got a $3 raise. Like last week.
That's good shit, man.
Yeah, bro. And right now they max out the journeyman right now for the IBW in Alameda County. They're maxing out right now at 73 an hour right now. So,
man. So for the youngsters that are watching this shit, because you're a young OG now too. So tell them, walk them through that process real quick. You know what I mean?
Man. So I mean, you gotta have with me. I was dropped out at a young age. You know what I mean? I went back at 25 when I was living with Bugsy. He was always keeping pressure on me. To be honest, like a lot of respect and that's right. Unc right there is he never let up on me for like 10 years, for hella years. He's like, hey, go get your diploma, fool. Go get your GED. And finally, when I was living with him, like in 2015, I went back and I was gonna go get my GED, but the lady at the adult school, she knew me. Her name was Miss Fry. She was like, Mijo, she's like, you don't need 60 credits, and you're already done with the California high school exam. Why don't you just go to Castro Valley Adult? It's like 6 months, you get your diploma. Boom, did that shit. You know what I mean? They were like, hey, you want to walk the stage? I'm like, hell yeah, I want to walk the stage. Had my mom there, had fucking, family there. Right. I had the homies there. It was hella funny because it's in Castro Valley. Anybody knows where Castro Valley is. It's a city next to Hayward on the hill, and it's all white people. It's all known for like the white people who live up there. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of Mexicans or neighborhoods or nothing like that. Yeah. Castro Valley is its own little town. So it's all hella like square ass people in the crowd. And one of my homies, like, when they called me up to get the diploma, they're like, you finally did it, Speedy. Like, and the whole crowd starts hella laughing and shit. I'm just laughing, like, grab my diploma. But I used that to go apply for the apprenticeship. You know what I mean? Okay. Because you need a GED or a diploma. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to get into any apprenticeship without it. You know what I mean? So plumbers, electricians, elevators, union.
So you applied and you immediately started, getting the
Nah, hell no. That shit took me like 2-3 years to get in.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
And you were working at the same time?
I was working at a different job. I was an appliance technician. I was just bouncing around trying to do hella shit. Yeah. And then I think COVID had a lot to do with it because they put a year pause on it, you know what I mean? But then when they finally called me at the end of COVID, they were like, hey, we got a position for you. Yeah. I was on a waiting list for how long? You just got to pass a math test and you got to pass an English test. But there's websites, even if it's worth paying to learn it, just to pass that test, because once you're on the waiting list, you fucking set. You know what I mean? So they teach you all at the school. They teach you everything. You don't gotta have no experience. You know what I mean? They find you the jobs. That's what's dope about it too. You know what I mean?
All right. Well, we got to wrap this up, man. You want to give any more shout outs?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna shout out Big Mister for inviting me over. Appreciate it. Shout out to my family, Bugsy. Shout out to everyone watching this podcast. Shout out to all the homies doing their thing, and shout out to all Northern Cali. You know what I'm saying?
And don't forget your moms for holding it down with you.
My mom's, family, my grandma. You know what I mean? Yeah. But what's it called? This ain't this is the first time doing the interview. This is the first time doing the podcast. So not really. How you say up to par on it?
Shit, this is raw, not cut. This is none of this shit's rehearsed. This is exactly what the people want.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So this ain't gonna be the first time you see me. You know what I mean? And follow me on Instagram, Lil Speedy Log STL. And much love. Appreciate it.
Want to bust a little freestyle before we cut?
Shit, come on, man.
Right.
Which I got a beat or something? I got a beat. Come on. Let me send you a beat, man. No. I can send it to you. Let me see.
Red Eye Recording Studios. I'll cut this.
Hold on, Red Eye?
Yeah, Red Eye, REDEYE.
EYE. Recording.
Studios.
Oh shit, hold on. Love this music. That's it right there? That's how it's supposed to sound? Yeah. Hey, it's time to get it poppin', ain't no stopping the movement. I'm dropping exclusives, bitch, I'm going stupid, dumb, motivated, stupid, elevated. Shout out to the ones who waited, anticipated, cause these rappers outdated, niggas fabricated. Put us on the same track, I dominated, no debating. I put him in the hearse. She could try to rehearse and go write your best verse, but you still can't compete with a Stack City beast. And when it comes to these beats, bitch, I only spit heat. Shit, she said I give her the jitters. Never met a nigga realer, cause you fucking with a hitter. I was gone for a minute, but I'm back up in it. Now I'ma keep on spitting, taking stars a limit to the next chapter. Not your average rapper. Stack City Factor, and that title's what I'm after.
That's right.
Yeah, man, shout out Sam,
that's right, G.
Shout out to Big Mister, man.
That's right.
Shout out to the homies, man. Hold on, Come on, man.
Hey, but one thing I want to put there, man, like, you know, not only you gotta stay true to your family, man, but keep the respect and love and loyalty for your homies and shit too. The ones that never turn their back on you. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, you'll figure it out, man. Like, you'll have fallouts with homies. You'll have fallouts with homies, and it'll be the smallest thing, but they'll show their card. You know what I mean? And those are the ones respectfully back off. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
All right, homie, for sure.
You see it.
I mean, I see when I see you, you know what I mean? Like, no fault, whatever, what's up, homie? But, you know,
You'll notice
because
it.
because if you don't establish grounds right there, it's gonna get worse and worse. Every time you have a fallout with them, they're gonna throw their card down.
Yeah, hell
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Appreciate that.
All right, homie,
Rick,
we
you know
out.
what you're talking about.
Yeah.